Welcome to Send to Print. Forget the complexity of screw threads. In Fusion 360, you can design a complete storage box in just 10 steps. Perfect for beginners. Let's get to work. Before sketching, let's define the dimensions. We'll input these as user parameters in Fusion 360 for easy adjustment later. Go to Modify and select Change Parameters. First, container D for the diameter, 50 millimeters. I'm keeping it small for a quick test print. Next, container H for the height, 30 millimeters. Finally, thread for the thread section, 8 millimeters. First, right-click the root directory in the browser and select New Component. Let's name it Container. Now, create sketch on the bottom XY plane. Hit C on your keyboard for the center diameter circle. Pull it out from the origin and type in our variable, container D. Hit Enter, then Finish Sketch. Next, press E to call the Extrude tool. For the distance, enter container H. Hit OK, and we have our solid cylinder. I'll rename this body to container in the browser for better management. Press E for Extrude again and select the top face. In the panel, change the direction to 2 sides. For the upward distance, enter 2, this is the lid's top thickness. For downward distance, enter thread. Make sure to select New Body here. Hit OK and rename this body to lid. Now let's expand the lid. Use the Offset Face tool. Select the outer circumference of the lid and offset it by 2 millimeters. We now have the basic solid shape for our lid. Next, we'll hollow out the lid. Click Combine in the toolbar. Set the lid as the target body and the container as the tool body. Set the operation to cut. Make sure to check Keep Tools, otherwise the container will be deleted. Hit OK. Now the inside of the lid perfectly fits the container's shape. Now, select the Shell tool. Select the top face of the container and set the wall thickness to 3 millimeters. The container now has its internal space. Looking at the timeline, we've completed the base model for both the container and the lid in just 6 steps. Now, let's move to the most important part in this video, modeling the threads. In Fusion 360, this is incredibly simple. Go to the Create menu and select the Thread tool. Click the outer surface of the container. Make sure to check Modeled, otherwise it's just a texture and won't print. The non-modeled option is only for when you have thousands of screws and need to save computing power. For the length, enter Thread. For the size, which is the thread diameter, we'll select 50 to match our container. Under designation, based on my experience, a pitch of 2 or 3 works best. Let's go with M50 by 3. Finally, check Remember Size, so we don't have to repeat this for the lid. Now, follow the same steps for the lid. Click the inner surface of the lid and keep it at full length. Since we checked Remember Size, just hit OK. To get a better view of the threads, go to the Inspect menu and select Section Analysis. Pick XZ plane to clearly see the internal fit. It might look like there's some overlap right now, which wouldn't actually prevent printing, but to better visualize the fit, press M for the Move tool, select the container, choose the Rotate option, and select the bottom circular edge as the axis. Now, slightly rotate the container. Take a close look at this cross-section. The standard threads generated by the system already have a tiny gap, but that's designed for industrial metal machining. For FDM 3D printers, this clearance is far from enough, so we need to manually increase the gap. Call the Offset Face tool again. Since the lid is thicker, select the 2 helical faces inside the lid. I'll enter minus 0.2 millimeters here. In my experience, minus 0.2 is usually sufficient. If your print is too tight, increase the offset. If it's too loose, decrease it. We have now completed the modeling in exactly 10 steps. This model is ready for slicing and printing. Before that, let's refine the model a bit further. Press F on your keyboard to call the fillet tool. Add a fillet to the bottom edges of both the lid and the container. This makes the model look better and helps solve the elephant foot issue in 3D printing. The model and the Fusion 360 F3D source file are already uploaded to MakerWorld. By opening the source file, you can clearly see my entire timeline of operations and the parameters I used. Okay, send to print. After an hour of printing, here's the printed container. Listen to that screw down sound. The thread fit is actually quite good. However, I've identified a few issues. First, the thread height. Even though I kept it relatively short, it still feels too high. It takes 3 full turns to close, which is a bit much. Looking at this small bottle, you see, it only needs a turn and a half. This means for an M50 by 3 thread, the height should be 4.5 millimeters, essentially the pitch multiplied by 1.5. The second issue is more serious, overhangs. You can see some sagging on the threads. It's very obvious inside the lid. Let's look at the cross-section. Standard ISO threads have a 60-degree profile. This means the overhang angle reaches 60 degrees. For many printers or high-flow filaments, printing this without supports often leads to drooping or rough surfaces. To fix this, we need to change the thread profile to 45 degrees, but you can't modify the standard ISO profile directly. In the next video, I'll show you a little hack to solve this. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.